What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be going over some quick boat tips. Whether you are a new boat owner or someone else who runs a different person's boat like I do when you can, or you run your boat every single day, we're going to go over a checklist of stuff that you can check up on your boat before you even think about getting on the water, just to make sure you have the best trip possible. And then at the end, I'm also going to share 3 tips for you guys that you can apply right now or the next time that you go out fishing that are going to make you a better boat operator. But if you're new here, my name is Kay. This is Tides Fishing. We do all kind of saltwater fishing videos, so if you're into that, make sure you hit the subscribe button over here somewhere so that you do not miss any of the new videos here on the channel. And then also hit the like button, and then let's get into the video. So first things first, we're going to start with the trailer because it's the most important part of the whole boat setup, because without it you are not going fishing. So make sure that you know how your trailer works and how to correctly attach it to your vehicle. First things first, know what size ball your trailer hitch takes. It says back here on the back of these hitches what size ball that they recommend you use with these, and so make sure the ball in your hitch also matches. Know how it locks, that it goes down. This one locks like this. Put the pin through it. Don't use it without a pin. Come on, people. And then moving back, make sure you also have a pair of safety chains. You don't want to be that person who backs into the ramp and their hitch comes off and all of a sudden your trailer and boat go rolling down the ramp. Trust me, I've been there. Safety chains will save you. So make sure you have a good pair of safety chains and make sure you hook them up before you go to pull your trailer anywhere. Let's keep moving back. All right, moving backwards a little bit, we're gonna get to the winch. This is something most people know how to use. It's pretty straightforward deal. You have a little lever here, you know, that you flip back and forth, but make sure you look at your strap before you go out, before you put your boat in the water, and make sure that you remember to unhook it when you get to the ramp. Don't try to back your boat up while it's still hooked here on the trailer. But like I said, make sure your strap isn't rotten. Make sure your winch is all working good. This is a really important device for getting your boat back on the trailer. And so double check that before you leave. Coming from the front of the trailer, moving toward the back, next thing you're gonna wanna look at is your tires. Make sure you have them correctly inflated to the right PSI. Most tires are gonna say right here on the side what they recommend them running at. So make sure that you check it with a little PSI gauge before you leave. I check tires before I leave and also before I bring the boat back, just because I've had a bad experience before. Funny story, the very first time that I pulled this trailer, this tire blew out, ripped off the entire front fender here on the trailer. Had to get that fixed. Tire was low, tire was bad. Make sure the tires on the trailer are good. Make sure they're correctly inflated. Let's keep going. Last thing we're gonna talk about on the boat trailer is your lights. Hook them up to your vehicle and test them before or the day before that you leave, especially if you're going to be pulling the trailer at night or early in the morning. You don't want to pick up a cheap ticket just because your light on your trailer aren't working. Most of them are easy fixes. Saltwater eats these things up, so make sure a lot of times it's just like a ground wire or something that can mess up. So double check those always before you leave so you don't get caught with a cheap ticket, and also someone doesn't rear end you because they don't see you stopping. That's gonna be a lot more expensive than a ticket. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and get right into the boat stuff. Guys, I am not a boat mechanic, nor do I claim to be one. I've just done a lot of knick-knack work on boats, on this boat actually, or on other boats over the past couple years. I mean, from replacing axles to manually steering or manually shifting the motor, replacing live well pumps. There's a lot of little stuff that you can do yourself, so it pays to kind of know that. So I'm not claiming to be a boat mechanic, so don't quote me on any of this stuff and roast me in the comments too much. But here's a couple quick tips to know if you're a new boat or boat owner. Know what batteries the trolling motor runs off of. I see so many people who have issues starting a boat and then they go start unplugging batteries, trying to jump stuff off, and they don't know what batteries they're crossing over or where. It'll pay if you get in a bind to know what batteries are the trolling motor batteries, just because they're really not that important to how your overall boat runs, and they're not important really in getting you home unless you need to jump off. Second thing, make sure you carry some extra rope, and also make sure that you have your anchor before you leave home. Don't get out on the water and not have your anchor because you left it at home, you took it out for some reason. Double check, make sure you have your anchor, make sure you have a little bit extra rope. That's really what you need to check in the front of the boat. Okay, before we get to the back of the boat, we're gonna stop real quick at the console, go over a couple things. Before you leave, make sure your trim works, make sure your jack plate works. You don't wanna get stuck out in the middle of the bay. One of these is not, you find out one of these is not working, it's not gonna be a super fun time. And then also something a lot of people don't know is know what the gauges do. Know what they're reading, especially if you're on someone else's boat. If you're on your boat and you see something's wrong and you run into the ground, that's your fault. But if you're on someone else's boat and something's not looking right, you probably need to shut it down, figure out the problem before you burn a motor up or something like that. So know what the gauges are reading, know when something's not right on the gauges. That'll save you a lot of money down the road. Leaving the console, we're gonna get to the back of the boat. This is the business end. This is what gets you where you want to go and does all of the dirty work. Okay, we're at the back of the boat. You tested your trim, you tested your jack plate. It's all working, it's all good. Especially though, if it's not your boat or you're not super familiar with it. If it is your boat, you should probably already know this. But open the hatches up, guys, and take a look at your fluids. Make sure all your fluid levels are topped off. Make sure you kind of know what they do. Take a look at your batteries, make sure they're all hooked up correctly, know what batteries do what. Find your battery shut off. It's gonna be that big red looking switch. In case you have to do work, you wanna turn that off so you're not accidentally getting zapped. I promise you it'll pay dividends to know that the simple layout, or just know the simple layout of the boat in case you get out on the water and you have an issue, you know how to troubleshoot it. Don't get out there and something go wrong happen, you have your head down in the boat trying to figure stuff out in the waves and it's hot. It's not a fun time. I've been there. I'm sure some of you watching this have been there before too. So avoid that by kind of knowing the layout of your boat, know where to go if you have a problem or know how to explain it so that you can call someone who can help you fix it. And then finally, the last thing you want to do before you leave the house, if your boat's been sitting up, most motors have a plug-in to where you can hook a hose to them. This one does. It's broke. Get you a pair of these bad boys, some suction cups that you can hook a hose to, hook it up to the back of the motor. Just try to start the boat before you get there. Start it in your garage, or not your garage, in your driveway or somewhere before you decide to haul it down to the bay or wherever you are going. I see so many people who don't start their boat and they make a 45-minute, hour-long drive early in the morning, get to the ramp, go to crank, the boat doesn't start, and then you're stuck doing all the stuff that I told you about at the ramp with limited tools. Like I said, not a fun time. I've been there. So make sure that you at least try to start it, especially if your boat's been sitting up for a long time. If you run your boat every week, okay, maybe you probably don't need to do this, but if the boat's been sitting up for a couple months, hook it up to a hose, start it at home before you go to the ramp. With that said though, everyone, that's all of the main ideas that I wanted to go over, kind of the checklist stuff before you leave, just to make sure you have a smooth trip. So let's go ahead and get into the 3 quick tips that I recommend. The first being that when you get to the ramp, make sure that you load all of your fishing rods, your tackle, and there's something else, your coolers, before you back down and get your boat in the water. Don't back into the water and hook your boat up and then be running around saying, oh, where's little Susie's life jacket and all this other stuff. You're just gonna take up more space at the dock than you need to, and it's not good. No one else is really gonna like you for doing that. So make sure you have all your stuff loaded so that you can get back your trailer in, get your trailer parked, and get out. The second thing is that if it's early in the morning or if it's late at night and you're loading your boat and you're backed up, your truck's sitting like this, and so your headlights are shining everywhere, make sure you turn your lights off. Don't be blinding the whole parking lot or the guy next to you who's trying to back in his trailer who can't see anything because your headlights are shining right in his rear view mirror. So make sure you turn your lights off if you're backed in early in the morning or late at night. You're gonna save a lot of people some trouble and maybe even prevent an accident. And then finally, the third thing, this seems straightforward, but I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this, not just myself. Practice driving a trailer. When you're towing a big boat, especially something that's over 20 foot, especially you get up to 23 in these 25-foot boats nowadays, you have a lot of real estate that you're dragging behind your car or truck. So know how to take wider turns so you're not ripping down stop signs. Like I said, make sure your lights on your back of your trailer work, but also make sure you know how to back it up. Put some cones on your yard, some trash cans, pull straight, and just work on backing your trailer in. It's gonna save you so much time at the ramp. Might save you some money, prevent you from having some sort of accident, and it's also going to make everyone else around you happier. A smooth boat ramp experience tops off a whole trip, so make sure you work on your reversing your boat trailer and also just driving it. A lot of people, it takes a little bit getting used to. But with that said, everyone, that is the entire video. Thank you for watching. Like I said, make sure you subscribe in case there's some new videos coming out that you might want to see, and I think there is. We got a lot of cool stuff planned, so don't miss out on that. Also, drop a like on the video. It means a lot to me, helps the channel boost the YouTube algorithm to get us some more views and some more subscribers so we can grow this saltwater fishing community that we have built. And then that's it. See you guys in the next video.